you would not be able to stand there and say to him it makes sense.
You said to me that you studied.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
You will not be able to say it makes sense to a Christian. If a Christian spoke to you and gave you evidence from the Bible, you would not be able to stand there and say to him it makes sense.
You said to me that you studied.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
I know you would. I know, but I make certain claims because of how sure I am.
You know
any subject,
what
you
you're
just
standing
read it,
on.
and whatever you study,
You look into the Quran, you
raise or
speak
broader
the
and
opposite
broader
of
and
what you're
broader. Yeah, that's what it is.
In what sense?
saying. In the sense that the Quran says that you need to listen to the people of the book.
No, it doesn't say
Yes,
that.
it does.
No.
You want to have a little chat with David Wood?
David Wood. He's not an academic. He's not knowledgeable in Islam.
Oh, I'm going to stop with Jay Smith.
No, he's not knowledgeable in Islam. The thing is, you're speaking to these personalities I'm well aware of, and I know them to not be academics.
They are academic.
No, they're not academics. Okay.
And it is
Right.
sincere.
The best that I can give to them is to say that they are pseudo academics. They are not worth my time.
That's a lot of arrogance coming from you.
No. I am speaking to you as a person who has studied my scripture, who has studied my sources,
And they're done.
and
And they haven't.
no, and
And they haven't.
no, they haven't.
That's right.
Okay, so
That's right.
like I said,
That's right.
I
Okay.
like my
Absolutely.
time is precious,
Absolutely.
and I will not
Of course, I
give
understand,
my
I
time
understand. Of course.
to pseudo academics.
You know everything, but obviously you don't.
What?
You don't.
Don't what?
Because I know you don't.
Don't what?
But you don't know what you think you say you don't.
I know exactly what I'm saying. That's why I'm always able to point to things. Anyway, I'm not here to. Yes, if you want me, you've came here and you said, okay, I could speak to David Wood or talk to Jay Smith, and I've responded to you and say, I am not going to waste my time with people who are pseudo academics, who have an agenda, who are not knowledgeable on Islam.
Yes, I do.
So that is your opinion, and this
is your opinion.
Yeah, no, that's your opinion that they are. I know for a fact, as a learned person, that they are not, and that's it. That's as far as it goes.
There are holes in the narrative.
There's holes in
One
it.
of the scholars
Look,
said this.
that soundbite of holes in the narrative. You don't even know what you're speaking about.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, because
Yes, I do. Because I watched the whole video. I do.
well done. You've watched the video. I've read the books.
The whole video.
Well done for reading and watching a video. Knowledge comes from reading books. Okay? Reading the source material, the primary source material.
Exactly.
Okay? Now, how do I know that David Wood and Jay Smith did not read the source material?
Yes, I did.
Do you know how I know they didn't?
Yes, I
Because the source material is in Arabic and neither of them are learned in the Arabic language.
Are they explaining
Are you gonna stand here and tell me that David Wood and Jay Smith are learned in the Arabic language?
Well, I'm going to say.
No. Come on. If you're sincere, answer me this question. Is David Wood, is Jay Smith learned in the Arabic? Are they learned in the Arabic language?
I know that they study with people.
Are they learned?
Is there
Right,
something
okay.
lost in the translation? What I read in English? No, I can't
Yes.
read Arabic.
Yeah.
What is lost in the
Huh?
translation?
We look. If you want, we can exchange numbers. It's not a problem. And you can ask me questions anytime.
You're wasting your time. Because he's lying. He's lying.
That's for him to decide.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
I know that you're lying.
at the end of the
Because
day,
Taqiyya, it's
I've
called Taqiyya.
always spoken to him
called
about
Taqiyya.
evidence. So he's going to go away and examine the evidence.
There's no even
Okay?
evidence. There's
Okay.
Let alone.
I mean, he's a
There's
grown
no
man.
evidence
So anyway,
that
George,
Quran in the sense
I'll tell you what.
that
If
it
you don't
wasn't
mind,
until the
we'll
9th
exchange
century.
numbers, and you can ask me these questions, and I'll produce the evidence for you. It's not a problem. Okay?
He's lied to you through and through.
So
It's called Taqiyya.
at the end of the day,
He's lying to you
So-
through and through.
what is taqiyya?
It means lying on behalf of Islam to protect the interests of Islam.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not true.
It is.
According to
What are the three forms of taqiyya?
the three forms.
I don't know the three forms.
Okay, so you
The
don't know.
best definition is
No. So you don't. So there are three forms of taqiyya. By the way, the three forms of taqiyya, you can find it in the English language, but he doesn't know. And you're an associate of David Wood and Jay Smith, and you're asking me to go and debate with them. If you don't know, being an associate of these two, if you are uneducated as an associate,
and you'll find the definition is not too dissimilar to what I've just said. You'll find
okay,
it.
no problem. Okay, taqiyya is a concept in Islam. Okay,
means-
and that's why
it means
I said to him, what are the
defending the
three
interests of
methods? And he said it is lying for the interests of Islam, except one of the forms of taqiyya is regarding you and your wife. So, for example, if you don't think your wife is looking too good, you could lie to her and say, you look good. Is that in the interest of Islam?
That's not the definition that I'm talking about. And he knows that.
No, it's one of the 3 forms. You don't know the 3 forms, so don't comment. Don't comment as if you know. I'm explaining to you. Okay? So anyway, like I said, listen. You do not know.
I've read it.
You don't know. You don't know.
I've read it from your own
Be humble and say I don't
quote it
know.
properly.
Be humble and say I don't
Maybe
know.
didn't quote
Anyhow,
it properly, but I read
George,
it from your own sources.
at the end of the day, as I said to you,
He's doing Taqiyya again
what we
because
have
I've read it
discussed,
from his own sources.
what we have discussed, you said it makes sense to you. So go away, inshallah. Read the Quran. If you're an objective person, he's just telling you to abandon it wholeheartedly. You have to. Yeah, look, I believe you to be sincere. I believe you to be
Did Jesus
sincere.
die on the cross or not?
No.
Lying. Because he did. That's historical fact. That's why the
Is
Quran is
it?
corrupt. That's a historical fact.
Is it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, 100% correct. And you know this to be true. Because the Quran.
What does the
says
Quran
that-
say?
Besides.
What does the Quran say?
But I'm not going to quote it, but I'm going to paraphrase.
I'll tell you what the Quran says. The Quran says, the Jews have claimed that we have killed the Messiah, son of Mary.
But they kill or not.
To be clear, when you say historical fact, do you mean as in the Bible?
No, as in historical
As in it was like archaeology?
Yes, exactly.
Archaeology.
Yes, we got evidence of that from history.
Uh-huh.
From history.
Okay. What's the archaeological evidence of the crucifixion?
There is evidence of the fact that in
No.
history,
He mentioned archaeology and you were like, yeah.
You find the bones?
There
Ah.
is evidence of the individuals. that
Right, okay.
actually-
So you lied when you said yes to archaeological evidence.
There's evidence of individuals that
Listen.
on the cross, which is
Look, I will catch you in every single lie that you spout. Because when he's asked you about archaeology, you were quick to say yes. You were quick to say, do not take me as a fool. Do not. Pontius Pilate would have never crucified someone like Jesus, because Jesus was not a rebel.
as far as he was concerned, he was a rebel.
No.
Yes.
No, he wasn't.
Yes.
Okay, your scripture does not say that Pontius Pilate considered him as a rebel. Where did you get this information from?
Because he was told by the populace that he
Oh,
called himself
what-
a king.
Who told him he called himself a king? Who was the populace?
The Sanhedrin.
The Sanhedrin. Why would that Sanhedrin say this?
Because they wanted to get rid of him.
The people of the
Because
Sanhedrin
they
were
wanted
awaiting.
to get rid
I
of
tell
him.
you, the Sanhedrin was awaiting the Messiah.
Yes.
Were they not?
Yes.
So why did they betray the Messiah?
Because
Why would
they
it be
thought
the?
he wasn't the Messiah.
Why not?
Because they didn't like what he had to say. And they
Was he
wanted
not
to
the
get
son
rid
of
him.
David?
Yes, he was.
Did they know him to be the son of David?
They didn't want to accept it.
Oh, right, okay.
didn't
So
want to-
so they lied about him.
Yes.
Okay, but why does Pontius Pilate care about what the
Because
Jews
they
think
didn't
about
want
Jesus?
a riot, so he gave them what they wanted.
Did he though?
Yes.
Was it a Roman tradition to let a captive go?
Yes. And they let.
Okay,
and they let-
give me a
let-
primary historical source that shows this to be a tradition of the Romans, that they allow a person to go free.
The gospel.
The gospel, no.
The Bible, you said the
No,
Bible.
you talk about history.
It's historical.
No. The
It
gospel is
historical. It is
ahistorical. It's not
It is
historical.
historical. And you can't prove that it's not.
I can.
No, you can't.
I can.
No, you can't.
Okay.
No, you can't.
We say to be clear. it's
All right.
the Bible's-
Yeah. Okay. So the Bible is not a historical
Yes, it
document.
is.
No.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So here's the
Have you
thing.
ever have you ever read the book of Luke?
I've read the entirety of the Bible. Okay.
Oh, then you don't know what you're talking about then.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Because if you read the book of Luke, you would know that it's historical.
I can highlight to you
No,
all
you
the
can't highlight
things.
anything because if you let the
I'll
book
just
of
call you.
Luke-
I'll just call you out on your lie. You talked about history, but then when I talked to you, I told you to give me a secondary. The thing is, I asked you give me a secondary primary, another primary source. I told you give me another primary source. Josephus.
Yes.
Josephus is a Jew that will never call Jesus the Christ. The earliest,
But point
the
is,
earliest
but the point
authentic,
is, he did talk
the
about
earliest,
Messiah.
the
He
earliest.
did talk about a man who was crucified.
What is the earliest
That's the
authentic?
point that-
What is
the
the
point
earliest?
he
Let
did
me
say
tell you.
there was a man
So
who was
you don't-
crucified.
You don't want me to speak because you know you're getting caught out.
No.
Then-
you are
then
getting
listen,
caught out.
then listen,
I have already
then listen.
said. He already said that. I already said that he talked about a man who was crucified.
No, he didn't.
Yes, I did.
All right, what is the most preserved works of Josephus?
There's so many of them.
No. What is the how was the Book of Antiquities preserved?
That I don't know. I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Okay, it was preserved by the Arabs in the 9th century. By the Arabs, they preserved the Book of Antiquities in the Arabic language in the 9th century. Guess what's missing in that translation? Guess what's that missing? That very passage that talks about the Messiah being called Christ.
Which these fools do not believe, you don't believe either.
I know my stuff.
You
Okay,
know,
so I'm going to get back to George because you interrupted our.
What you don't know. What you don't know.
You are not
is
speaking.
that there is
You are
historical
not.
evidence.
You are not speaking to any
There is
Muslim.
historical
Do not
evidence.
stand here and think you're speaking to any Muslim.
You are.
I am.
Historical evidence.
Look, I know what I'm talking
There
about,
is
and I do not
plenty
speak
of
on anything
historical
unless what
There's
I have
plenty
evidence.
of it.
So when I speak
There's
about the
plenty
Bible,
of
I
it.
talk to you from evidence. When I speak about history, I talk to you from evidence.
But
There is
there's
no extra biblical evidence
There's plenty
that
of it.
shows there is no.
There's plenty.
Let me finish the sentence. There is no extra biblical evidence that shows that the Roman judiciary would let a captive go. Not only any captive, a captive who is known to be a rebel to the Roman Empire. This does not exist in history because the one that was let go was the actual rebel, Jesus Barabbas, which conveniently means Jesus, son of the Father. Okay? So don't talk to me about history. I know the Bible to be ahistorical because that is mentioned in the Bible, and it is ahistorical because there is nothing like that in history. And furthermore, you talked about Luke. Okay, now I'm going to unload on you a little bit. Okay.
Go ahead.
So now in Luke, the birth narrative of Luke. You talk about holes in the narrative. Let's talk about the narrative of the birth of Luke in the Gospel account according to Luke. It mentions about Quirinius. And Quirinius, who did the census in Syria. Now, Quirinius, the only time he did the census was in 6 AD, which is interesting because there were, that contradicts what is mentioned in Matthew, because Matthew talks about King Herod. And the reason that they had to flee to Egypt was because of King Herod and him killing all the babies that was only younger, mirroring what happened in the time of Moses. Hence why Christians try to equate the prophet like Moses to Jesus, because they try to use the Exodus story, not the Exodus story, but the birth of Moses or the situations surrounding Moses to Jesus. Okay? No, I'm not. I'm saying the Christians tend to use this as a connection to show how Jesus is like Moses. But the contradiction here is that the narrative in Matthew is a minimum of 10 years difference. So Jesus was born in 4 BC and in 6 AD according to the gospel accounts. Gospel of Matthew puts him in 4 BC because that is when King Herod died. So we are putting it as late as possible, and King Herod died. Assalamu alaikum. تعال هنا. الحمد لله كيف الحمد لله
خليك
طيب اشوفك ان شاء الله بعد قليل. Okay,
I won't waste your time.
and here you go. Of course you won't waste your time because now we are discovering the holes in your narrative.
There's no
Okay,
holes in the narrative. I just
so
don't have the
King Herod
I don't have
King
the
Herod
answers
died
to
in
that.
4
I
BC.
can
This is
answer
established historically, and we talk about the Book of Antiquities. And we talk about the Book of Antiquities. The Book of Antiquities, there is a specific section within the Book of Antiquities that talks about the atrocities of King Herod, and that does not document the killing of babies of 1 and younger. Right? Okay. Well, okay. So, and that's what happens when an educated Muslim unloads on an ignorant Christian.
No,
I'm done.
you're done.
I'm done.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to continue with George, because he is someone who wants to critique the evidence, who wants to see the evidence for himself.
type Bart Ehrman. He's not even a Christian. I need to tell you what he doesn't know.
Don't worry.
Bart Ehrman he's a scholar of
I will tell you exactly what he's thinking. I'll tell you exactly what he's thinking, right? Because Bart Ehrman made a specific statement that Christians love to hang on to. He said that the crucifixion of Christ is one of the most undisputed facts of history. This is a quote by Bart Ehrman. Yet the very same Bart Ehrman, throughout several of his books, challenges the details of the crucifixion and points out contradictions and theological differences and problems with the narrative across the four Gospels when he does a horizontal reading. No, but he looks at the historical analysis of the New Testament across and he reads it horizontally across the four Gospels and highlights the contradictions and the theological problems regarding the Passion narrative.
That's unequivocally.
Where's your evidence to the contrary?
Unequivocally.
It is very easy for us to say it is not true, what he is saying is lying, but yet when I speak to you, I am quoting my sources.
He doesn't know.
I am quoting my evidence, and this is what George is going to see.
Saying he doesn't know.
Spouting
What do you know?
apparent evidence. Okay, he's
No,
spouting
you keep
apparent
on saying that he doesn't
But the
know.
reality is different. The reality is
No
different.
problem. And like I said, I have no time for pseudo-intellectuals who have an agenda. No, I'm not talking about you now. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about pseudo-intellectuals, which are not intellectuals, who have an agenda and who have no knowledge on Islam. I'm not going to waste my time with them. So David Wood and
They
Jay
killed him
Smith.
not. Okay, they
What?
killed him not. First of all,
Yeah, they killed him not.
If you look at that particular verse, okay, it makes Allah who is speaking, okay, makes him to be a deceiver. Okay, that makes him to be a deceiver. In which case, Allah, the deceiver, is not God.
Is the deceiver a name of Allah? Is the deceiver a name of Allah?
No. But
No, okay.
But
So it's not an attribute of Allah.
Purposely deceived those who thought that they killed Jesus.
You're mixing two completely different
No,
verses.
the point is, they killed him. It was only that it appeared to be so.
No, that's not in the Quran.
I'm paraphrasing. Okay, so
Oh no, it's not even in the Quran. Even if you paraphrase it, that's not in the Arabic text. I know my Quran, I know my Bible, I know my history, I know my theology.
That's what I'm saying. Taqiyya. This is exactly the evidence of taqiyya that I'm talking about.
Do you know Arabic? Do you know Arabic?
Right.
Do you know what the
No,
Arabic
I
verse
know,
says?
but this
No,
is taqiyya.
but I'm lying.
This is taqiyya.
You don't know the Arabic. You don't know what the Arabic says.
That's taqiyya.
You don't know what the Arabic
This
text is.
exactly my point.
But I'm lying.
This is exactly my point. This is exactly my point.
I'll see you later.
This is exactly my point.
All right.
Taqiyya, all the way through.
Like I said to you, I'll see you later. So
This
George,
is exactly my point.
at the end of the day, look,
Taqiyya.
you're your own man. You have your own intellect. You've seen the exchange. I'll leave it to you to decide. I don't need to spoon feed you.
I have one question. If you
Sure.
can raise it there.
Of course.
So about it being obviously the Quran is in Arabic.
Yes.
And
Taqiyya, remember.
I'm going to read the English version.
Yes.
What is there something like lost in English?
Look, anything
Or
anything you read, there's always going to be something lost in translation. There's always going to be something that you don't understand.
Is it that the Arabic has a better way to like?
So-
is there some words that are
Yeah, no, okay.
Arabic that
So here's the
aren't in
thing:
English?
the Arabic, the thing with the Arabic language is that there are many words that carry more than one meaning simultaneously, and you can't translate that. So that's what happens, right? So you'll still understand what you're reading. That you don't be worried about. But you will have questions about some of the ambiguous verses. There will be things that you come across.
Because
You'd be
there's
like,
double meanings.
it's not about double meanings. It's just simply you'd be concerned of curious about context.
Yeah.
Why was this revealed? What is it? What's the theology behind this? You'll have curiosity, and there will be questions. This is no doubt. That's why I'm saying to you, I don't mind.
This is the verse I was talking about.
I don't mind. Yeah, what does it say in the Arabic?
Not in the Arabic, but the English version, which they would acknowledge because they put it in their own Qurans, the ones that they pass out to
What is it? What is it that we have put in the English translation?
It says,
What? No. Where did that come from? I'm asking you for the origin, because I know what you're talking about.
there's many different translations.
No. So you don't even know. What is the source of that part of the English that you're referring to?
There's this one. I don't particularly know which translation this
Oh,
is.
subhanAllah, what do you know?
Surah An-Nisa, 157.
I know. Yeah. The part that says, but it appeared to them. But what else does it say in your translation? But someone was.
They killed not the Messiah, Jesus, the Son of Mary, the messenger of Allah. and did not crucify him, but another was made.
Another
to
was made.
resemble him.
Another was made to resemble him.
Another was
Where is that
made
in the
to-
Arabic?
Which means there was the deception.
Yeah, no. Where is that? Where was that from? What's the source of that?
What's the source?
Mm.
Your Quran.
No,
Yes. The
no,
translation of it.
no. It's actually Judeo-Christian sources. Because the
He got you.
Yusuf
He
Right.
got you.
Do you know why?
Yeah,
Because that's
What are you talking
that
about?
part that is
Yusuf Ali,
that part is
one of your
Yusuf-
most
Listen.
renowned translators.
Listen.
Come on, stop lying.
No, I'm not lying.
It's not
Because
Taqiyya.
I'll tell you why. Because it is that specific thing about another being resembled. This is known as the substitution theory, right? And the substitution theory, and the look, I have an answer. I have an answer. I have an answer to all your unacademic nonsense. So here's the thing. The substitution theory, what is being referred to in the translation is a substitution
The devil
theory.
come, here's the devil.
So,
If you want to see the devil,
Uncle, inshallah. Let me speak to George.
Yeah.
Let me speak to George. So what happens here is that the substitution theory is in the translation. However, it's under marks to show that it's not within the Arabic text. Now, this specific explanation is found within our sources known as the Israeliyat. Now, Israeliyat in Arabic refers to the tradition of the Jews and the Christians, so Judeo-Christian sources. So which means that we drew from their earliest sources.
There's a lot of overlap between.
Oh yeah, there is overlap. No doubt. But it was actually the early Christians. There was a sect among the early Christians that believed that a disciple was put in the place of Jesus. All right, and there are other sects that believed it was what's his name? Judas. Judas that was placed on the cross in place of Jesus for his
the guy that betrayed.
because he betrayed him. So hence he got the punishment of the crucifixion instead of Jesus. Now these are beliefs held by early Christians. Now today they would consider them Gnostic and heretics, but this was a belief. But the Muslims took this, and by the way, the Muslims, we don't believe this to be certain. This is simply the most popular opinion, right? But he doesn't know. He doesn't even know where we get the sources from. So when I say to him, it's from your sources actually. It's first century and second century Judeo-Christian sources that we get this understanding from. He couldn't. What could he say? Oh, you're lying. How am I lying? How am I lying? If you're gonna say lie, I'm lying. Fine, no problem. Substantiate it. Evidence. Because every time he came to me with something, not only did I know what he was going to say, I knew what he was citing, and I knew the counter to it.